The church doesn't look great and mighty. It's not real intimidating. In fact, people mock it and make fun of it, and on the news they laugh at it and they pull out certain of our brothers and sisters who make misjudgments or whatever, and they make them a laughing stock. It seems like the church is small and weak, like a flock of sheep. You know, you don't start trembling if you hear sheep coming down the road. You know, that doesn't scare people usually. And that's the way the church is. It's kind of like that. It doesn't seem to be great and mighty and strong, and the truth is, it isn't in itself. Right? Who are you? Are you great and mighty and strong and courageous? You've never been intimidated by anyone. You're always standing faithfully, always strong and uncompromised. No, the truth is we're very weak and we fail, but our shepherd is strong. And that's the strength of the church. Jesus, as the great shepherd, preserves the church. He keeps the flock, and no power on earth will succeed in snatching the flock from his hand and destroying it. So here is the great assurance that we can have, and you need to take it to heart. We will never perish because salvation is of the Lord, and he is a faithful God and a faithful shepherd to us. He has chosen us, he has redeemed us by his Son, he has called us by his Spirit, and we are kept by faith in his power, by his power. Salvation is of the Lord, and because of that, we can know that we are safe in him. And it's important to note, however, that this assurance is for those who are faithfully in the flock. See, the Jews thought they were safe. The Jews, if you had said this to them, Jesus had just said, hey, you know that God will not allow the flock to be destroyed. No one will be able to snatch it out of his hand. All the Jews would have stood up and said, amen, preach that now. We love hearing that. That's what we're talking about. That's exactly what we need to hear. But what's the problem? It's not for them. If you're unbelieving, if you reject the Son, if you seek to live as you please and think that somehow or other the Son is still your shepherd, even though you're not following him, even though you're not listening to his voice, you're not obeying, you don't love him, then you are missing the point here. The Jews thought they were safe just because historically that's who they were. They were the flock of God. They were the descendants of Abraham. Jesus makes plain that only those are his sheep who believe in him and follow him, who obey his word and continue to live faithfully throughout their lives. Those who turn away from him and reject him, they are not his flock. The faith of his people is a persevering faith. The Jews were cut off, Paul says, because of their unbelief. They were cut off because of their unbelief, and therefore, if you turn away from Jesus, you cannot expect his blessings and his life. You've cut yourself off from the life of God, and therefore, the promise of life is not yours. But for those who look to him, there is nothing to fear, because he is a faithful shepherd, even to the weak and fearful sheep that are in his flock.